is the Los Angeles Rams.
Like a sound you hear that lingers in your ear, but you can't forget.
The city's first major pro league franchise, the first professional team to integrate, first to win LA a title, put logos on helmets and a team on TV. From Crazy Legs Hurst to Eric Dickerson, the Dutchman and fearsome foursome. The Rams' story stretches from the Coliseum to the Hall. The City of Angels, a sports town with a history loaded with dreams and full of stars. And at its bedrock, the LA Rams.
Professional football is back in Los Angeles, and Southern California Rams fans are more than ready for some football. Tonight inside the historic Coliseum, the largest crowd ever to watch an NFL preseason game in the United States. More than 90,000 on hand to welcome the Rams back to Los Angeles, the city they departed in 1994 for St. Louis. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the booth. Sean McDonough along with John Gruden. Delighted to have you with us. The Rams delighted to be back in Los Angeles. Their fans more than excited. We've been here since Tuesday, and the excitement level is off the charts.
Yeah, and only the LA Coliseum has the tradition and the mystique to welcome the Rams back. Let's play the game.
They'd like to see some winning football as the Rams come back. 7-9 a year ago. They haven't been in the playoffs since 2004. A young and seemingly improving team with some work to do, especially on offense. That's why they used the #1 overall pick on Jared Goff.
A lot of pressure, high expectations on Goff, and the Rams are dying for a franchise quarterback, but they better be patient with this kid because the offense they're running here completely different than anything he's ever done. From getting into the huddle to calling plays to executing plays. Can't wait to see where he is tonight.
Tremendous roars. Goff and the Rams take the field. He won't start the game. He'll play tonight behind the veteran Case Keenum, but we do expect to see Jared Goff for about half the game. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys, off a 4-12 season a year ago, a lot of key injuries to the quarterback Tony Romo, who seems to be healthy, probably will not play tonight. Des Bryant on his way back from a foot injury. What do you see as the keys for the Cowboys if they're going to return to the playoffs?
Number one priority is let's find who our backup quarterback is. They went 1-11 without Tony Romo. So Dak Prescott, their fourth-round draft choice, gets the start tonight. He's out of Mississippi State. He's not like Tony Romo at all. He's a dual threat, an outstanding runner, but they're going to keep him in the pocket and see where he has gone as a passer. Very important that Cowboys find their man, or there's going to be a couple backup quarterbacks, veterans, on an airplane tonight.
Prescott for a half, and then Jamil Showers gets the chance probably throughout the second half. It's a homecoming for the Rams. It's also a homecoming for their coach, Jeff Fisher, Southern California native, and, of course, the former USC Trojan as well. He's with Lisa Salters.
Thank you, Sean. Well, Jeff, as an L.A. native, what's it mean to you to be the head coach of the team, bringing pro football back to L.A.?
You know, it's been so much fun this past offseason. It's been really emotional for everybody, but you know, everything's behind us now, and we're finally here. We've been through a lot, but this team is very anxious to play tonight.
And they're very eager to see your #1 overall pick. Tell me, for Jared Goff, it's going to be the first time you get to see him take some live snaps. How much time is he going to get, and what are you expecting?
He's going to get Case 2 or 3 series, and then Jared's going to take it and run. So we'll see how he does. He's really excited about
snaps. Thank you, Coach.
All
Good
right,
luck to you.
you.
Sean.
Rams back in the Coliseum, and Rams legends, part of the 90,000 plus here. Rosie Greer, one of the stalwarts of the fearsome foursome. Jackie Slater, the great offensive lineman and Hall of Famer, and one of the all-time great running backs, Eric Dickerson. Cowboys and the Rams after this. Welcome back to Monday Night Football from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Beautiful night here in the City of Angels. Huge crowd on hand. Time for the national anthem. Here's public address announcer Sam Lagana.
National anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Jared Goff ready to make his debut for the Los Angeles Rams. Back in a moment.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Back in the Coliseum where Dallas won the toss and elected to receive, so the Los Angeles Rams will kick off to Jason Garrett's Dallas Cowboys. 45-43 in 6 seasons, 5 full seasons as the Cowboys coach. Dak Prescott will get the start at quarterback for the Cowboys. Greg Zuerlein, Greg the Leg, will kick off for the Rams. And football is back in Los Angeles for the first time since 1994. Lucky Whitehead dodged some traffic around the 10, and now he's in the clear.
Goodbye.
The return to Los Angeles, not so lucky for the Rams. Whitehead goes the distance.
That's one way to silence a crowd on the road. Special teams coach Rich Bisaccia found a diamond in the rough last year in Lucky Whitehead. He's going to take this kick and open field running. He's going to make 2 Rams miss, and if he finds a crease, forget it. Great start for Dallas.
101 yards for Whitehead. The extra point now for Dan Bailey. 13 seconds in, the Cowboys are on the board. Some of these fans saying go back to St. Louis.
Well, big rule change, Sean. They want the touchback to come out to the 25-yard line this year, so a lot of kickers are going to hang the ball high and in the corner and see if their coverage team can pin the return team back. And Whitehead says you're better off hitting it through the goalpost for a touchback. You got to be real careful in pro football giving some of these specialists an opportunity to ruin a game. Jeff Fisher, I'll bet he goes over to Zuerlein and says, well, let's do what we did last year. Let's get the touchback.
And we've talked to several coaches in this preseason about their philosophy. Jeff Fisher said he doesn't like this new rule. He thinks it'll go against the purpose and actually lead to more concussions because there'll be more collisions. A lot of times, John, don't you think it'll depend on game situations early in the game? If it's a close game, you might just take the ball out to the 25 and take a knee. But if you're behind in the game, you might run the kick out of the end zone.
Well, let's see what Dallas does, Sean. They have a great kicker, Bailey. He's not going to attempt the kickoff here, but if it's a touchback this year, it comes out to the 25-yard line. It used to come out to the 20. So a lot of teams are saying, hey, let's kick the ball into the corner and cover it.
See how the Cowboys play it. Dan Bailey deep into the end zone, and Farrell Cooper, the rookie from South Carolina, wants to make a quick impression. Cooper all the way out to the 40-yard line. Taken down by Barry Church. And here comes the Ram offense. Their #1 quarterback, at least for the time being, is Case Keenum, undrafted out of the University of Houston by the Texans. Got 10 starts there over 3 seasons, went 2-8, but played a lot at the end of last season for the Rams and went 3 in his last 7 starts overall. He's 5-2. And they believe they can win games and be a playoff team with Case Keenum. 5th-year veteran, first time he's been the #1 in training camp. First pass dumped over the middle from Lance Kendricks, the tight end, ahead to the 46-yard line.
Keenum doesn't have the measurables that everybody's looking for. Nobody recruited him. He had 1 college scholarship opportunity. That was Houston. Nobody wanted him in the draft. And here he is, holding off Jared Goff as the starting quarterback of the Rams. This kid has a lot of heart, and he's got enough talent to throw the football.
Denny Cunningham, the running back. They will not play Todd Gurley tonight. Cunningham tips his way out near midfield, down 2 yards short of the first down.
Rams do so much in their running game on the backside with wide receivers and fullbacks, giving the backside of the defense so much conflict, and it's got a lot to do with some of the big runs that St. Louis hits. A lot of misdirection and motion from the Rams offense.
3rd down and 2. Cunningham remains the running back. And a flag for an illegal procedure.
False start. Number 61 offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Pete Morelli, the referee tonight.
That's a rules emphasis we went over. The center not allowed to move the football. They caught Barnes, veteran center. Going to really be restrictive with what the center can do, moving the ball while he surveys the defense. Got to keep an eye on that throughout the preseason.
Coaches rave about Barnes. The center does a great job with the protections at the line of scrimmage. Keenum tackled short of the first down. The penalty really hurts. Keenum back to the 47-yard line, and that's all. And the Rams will punt.
Well, they're going to show a double-A gap blitz. They're showing a free safety blitz, and they bluff it. They fall out of there. They play a zone coverage. They fool the Rams, and that's just good effort by the Cowboy defense.
Johnny Hecker, Pro Bowler last year. One of the best in the league. Lucky Whitehead, who's already run a kickoff back for a touchdown, telling his teammates to get away. The Rams try to down it. And the indication is that they did.
Boy, Johnny Hecker continues to be the best punter in pro football. Downing the ball inside the 5, nobody does it better than Hecker and the Rams.
This ESPN NFL preseason special is brought to you by Ford. We go further so you can. By IBM, outthink your biggest challenges. And by Arby's. Arby's, we have the meats. Look inside the Los Angeles Rams exhibit that's set to open in September as part of the Sports Museum of Los Angeles. Great memorabilia, historical items from the Rams' history in Los Angeles. While we were away, we thought the Dallas Cowboys were going to challenge the ruling that the ball was down at the 1-yard line. You saw the replays as we went to break. And the Rams player, Chase Reynolds.
Dallas is challenging the ruling on the field that it was not a touch, was not down at the 1-yard line.
Bradley Marquez, great effort there, but there's Chase Reynolds, who's standing on the goal line. Jason Garrett the challenge, and he's likely to win it. Back in a moment. Cowboys challenge. Here's Pete Morelli.
After reviewing the play, a member of the kicking team was touching the ball with his foot on the goal line. Therefore, it makes it a touchback. Ball be placed on the 20-yard line. Dallas will not be charged a timeout. And please put the clock to 12:22. Thank you.
Pretty obvious there. And that helps a rookie quarterback to start at the 20 instead of his own 2. Here's Prescott. Dynamic dual threat in college. Does he throw the ball well enough?
Dak Prescott, rookie out of Mississippi State, a 4th-round pick. About to take his first snap as an NFL quarterback. And if you're wondering, the touchbacks coming out to the 25-yard line are on kickoffs. The punts come to the 20. Travis Frederick, the center, anchoring a terrific offensive line for Dallas. Play action pass on the first play for Prescott, and it's dropped. Jeff Swain, the backup tight end, trying to make the team. 11,897 total yards while in college. The most decorated player in Mississippi State history. He owns 38 school records behind only Aaron Murray and Tim Tebow all time in total yardage in the SEC. Alfred Morris, the running back, first year with the Cowboys after 4 strong years with the Washington Redskins. He gets the call and powers his way out about a yard short of the first down.
All I keep hearing about is Ezekiel Elliott, Darren McFadden, and guess who the starting tailback of the Dallas Cowboys is? The ex-Washington Redskin Alfred Morris. And in the last 4 years, he's never missed a start. 4,700 yards rushing. If you need production, reliability, call Alfred Morris. He is a good back, and the Cowboys are loaded at that position.
We will not see Ezekiel Elliott, their first-round pick tonight. 3rd down and 1. The Cowboys leading 7-0 on a kickoff return on the opening kickoff of the night. Good throw, and on target to Cole Beasley is Prescott for a first down out to the 44-yard line. Jermaine Johnson, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, had the coverage, 15-yard gain.
Good timing, good location from Prescott to Beasley. And we talked about Jermaine Johnson in the pregame, franchise left corner of the Rams, and the rookie Prescott not shying away.
Hey, let's go, hey, Rico. Hey, watch it right here, Zorro.
Oh, boy.
Into the bag of tricks. Here comes Whitehead again across midfield and out of bounds with another first down, it appears. He has it just shy of the 45-yard line of Los Angeles.
Not the biggest Cowboy, but fun to watch. They're not even going to block the defensive end. This is a college jet sweep. They're going to try to outflank the Rams with speed. And when Lucky Whitehead comes into the game, Sean, you better alert everyone for the jet sweep in the reverse. The man is dangerous.
As we've seen already, his kickoff return to start the game, the 3rd kickoff return for a touchdown already this opening weekend of NFL exhibition play. Morris ahead for a couple.
Go back to Prescott, Sean. He shows up at our quarterback camp in the offseason. We did a lot of research. Everybody says there's just the it factor. The kid has it. He's got great intangibles, charisma, confidence. They're off the charts. And he's got talent, and he just loves the challenges of down-to-down football. Great competitor. I'm pulling for this kid.
It was obvious watching that QB camp you liked him a lot. Deep ball to the sideline, and it is caught. Is it in bounds? And yes, it is. Des Bryant on the field. We were led to believe he may not play tonight, but he's out there working his way back from the foot injury that hampered him for much of last season. 18-yard gain with Cody Sensabaugh coverage.
That's a beautiful thing. A back shoulder ball. Des Bryant, didn't think we'd see him today, but he saw this crowd.
On the list of scratches we got, he was one of them, but obviously out there tonight. Alec Ogletree made the stop on Alfred Morris.
Hey, Des Bryant, he's the 1,212 club. 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. He seems to get that every year. Did it 3 straight seasons. The foot problem had as much to do with the Cowboys struggling on offense last year as Romo. Great to see him back in the lineup this early in training camp.
loves to play and wants to be out there after the injury-shortened season last year. Prescott given time on target again to Beasley, and the Cowboys near another first down inside the 20.
It's a great job by Prescott. You're going to see the blitz coming off the right side. Number 20, Joyner, doesn't flinch in the pocket, gets right to his hot receiver, and this has been an impressive opening drive for the rookie quarterback.
Tony Romo said his main job tonight would be to try to help Dak Prescott and Jamil Showers along. Dak told us he's already been a big help during the workouts, sharing his experience. Alfred Morris, the first down, twisting down to the 14-yard line. Flag on the play. And
holding, number 79. Offense, 10-yard penalty, still third down.
You know, Dallas was terrible last year in short yardage. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. For this type of offensive line to be just over 50% is poor. And that time, Green, a second-year man out of Florida, who they're looking at carefully as the swing tackle, commits a terrible foul in the scoring zone. 3rd down and 11. Too many penalties on this Cowboy offensive line. They're too good for that.
Green getting the start at left tackle for the Pro Bowler Tyron Smith. They don't want to play him in his first exhibition game. 9th play of the drive, 3rd and 11. It's a screen. Well executed, and Morris gets the first down back inside the 15-yard line. Knocked down by T.J. McDonald, who's played a lot of games in this facility, the former USC Trojan. 12-yard gain on 3rd and 11.
Watch Morris catch this screen pass and go right down the numbers. That's the sidewalk on a good screen pass. Take the ball to the numbers, pick up your lineman downfield, and Alfred Morris getting a lot done after contact.
Should have the chance to play a lot tonight. Ezekiel Elliott, as we mentioned, nursing a hamstring injury. They don't think it's serious. Darren McFadden still coming back from a fractured elbow, the leading rusher last year. Screen to the other side to Rod Smith. He bangs his way inside the 10. Trying to make the team as a fullback.
You can call a lot of different kind of plays with Dak Prescott. You get the running game going, you fake the run to your right, you come out with a bootleg to your left, you find your hot receiver, and off goes Smith for a nice gain on an early down. Hard quarterbacks to defend, these men that can run and pass. I like what I see.
Prescott 5 out of 6 on the opening drive. Back shoulder throw to Bryant. And it's a touchdown with Cody Sensabaugh defending.
I really like to see that for a lot of reasons. Opening 80-yard drive for a rookie quarterback, and your superstar wide receiver is back. I say give it to him.
Yeah, that's a catch.
No, Jason
We'll
Garrett.
review the previous play.
Jason Garrett been questioned all week about when you're going to bring in a backup quarterback. He said, I'm going to let this play out. I'm going to look at my young guys first, and I'm sure he's glad he did.
We welcome you back to Los Angeles. Let's get the ruling from Pete Morelli.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
We're pleased to be joined again this year by Jerry Austin, 26 years an NFL official, 3 Super Bowls, 2 of them as the referee, and perhaps the most discussed thing these days in football is what's a catch, what isn't a catch. Was that pretty clearly a catch?
I don't know as clearly, but there's a process to making a catch. Control the ball, get 2 feet down, and if you're going to the ground, maintain control of the ball. And that's what Dez did in that play, which he did not do in the playoff game.
Yeah, that was reminiscent of what happened in Green Bay. Dan Bailey on for the extra point. There is a flag. personal foul against the Rams was the signal that Pete Morelli was giving to Jason Garrett. And Jerry, to put a period on what you were saying, the phrase we've heard a lot this offseason. Let's listen to Pete first.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, leverage on the defense, number 91. Half the distance to the goal. Ball be placed in the 7.5 and re-kick.
Dominique Geasley called for the infraction. Survive the ground is the phrase we've heard a lot when trying to ascertain whether or not somebody completed the catch.
However you say it, when you're going to the ground, maintain control of the ball. Do not let it touch the ground. If you're going out of bounds, you got to maintain control even in the process of going to the ground, because if you bobble it, that takes that away.
There's Bailey, one of the best in the business. He didn't miss an extra point last year, even when they made the try longer. 33 yards. He was 25 for 25 in point afters a year ago. Des Bryant was not scratched, and he's in the end zone. 14-0 Cowboys. 6:09 to go in the first quarter here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Sean McDonough with John Gruden. Lisa Salters on the sidelines. John Sutcliffe, our colleague from ESPN Deportes, also on hand. We'll be hearing from him from time to time tonight. Matt Weil will kick off now. Pharaoh Cooper lets it go out of the back of the end zone. One of the big stories heading toward the regular season for the Cowboys, the suspensions to key defensive players, including linebacker Rolando McClain. They don't know if he'll ever be back, but he definitely will not play in the first 10 games of the season. John, he hasn't been in camp. Randy Gregory out for at least 4. DeMarcus Lawrence, their leading sackman a year ago, will not play in the first 4 for violation of the substance abuse rules of the NFL.
And all Jason Garrett can do is worry about the players that are in camp, and that's just what he's done. And Dallas has come on the road here and looks sharp.
A chance for some young defensive linemen to earn a spot on the team with those suspensions upcoming. Case Keenum still at quarterback. Threw short to Lance Kendricks. We might see more balls this year with the departure of Jared Cook via free agency to the Green Bay Packers. Gain of 6.
It's the front 4 of the Cowboys that concerns me the most. There's just a bunch of no names out there. Losing players is one thing. Having injuries, Malik Collins is out. There's a number of Cowboys unavailable, and you said it, there's a golden opportunity for some young players to make a name for themselves.
Long count by Keenum. Here's Kayvon Austin. Always dangerous with the ball in his hands. He's out of bounds just short of the first down. Martin Zacha made the stop. Second-year man out of Wyoming with help from Anthony Hitchens.
Austin's interesting. 52 catches and 52 rushes. But watch the speed of middle linebacker Anthony Hitchens once he recognizes this reverse. Hitchens can blur the screen. And he's played a lot of different positions for this Cowboy defense. He's played weak side, he's played in the middle, and that's where he's going to be this year with no McClain.
Sean Lee not playing tonight. He would ordinarily be the weak side linebacker. Benny Cunningham squirts free for a first down. Out to the 42-yard line. J.J. Wilcox trying to make the team as a backup safety. It's the first down back in Los Angeles for the Rams with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
We have this thing called the Gruden grinder, Sean.
Benny
Cunningham, he would be a candidate every week. I love the way he plays. He does a lot of dirty work, and converting third downs is one of them.
Good in the passing game, good in the kicking game as well. Keenum out of the shotgun on target. It's another first down. Brian Quick across midfield of the Dallas 45, run out by Anthony Brown, a rookie from Purdue. 13-yard completion to Quick in his 5th year, and they're still waiting, John, for him to make a big impact. He was a second-round pick out of Appalachian State.
There's a lot of pressure on Brian Quick to have a great preseason and stay injury-free. The Rams brought in several young receivers, some in the draft and some after the draft, that they're intrigued by.
Mike Groh, the new wide receiver coach, said one of his major tasks is to get more out of Quick, get him to use his size. Screen, Benny Cunningham, another first down. Down to the 25.
Guy Benny Cunningham, but watch center Tim Barnes. Athletic. He sees the defensive lineman read the screen. That's an excellent job by Barnes leading the way on the screen. You saw him pick up Cedric Thornton, the defensive tackle of the Cowboys, and it's Spring Cunningham.
Undrafted out of Missouri in 2011. Took a long time to become a starter in the NFL. Barnes earned the job in training camp last year. Started every game. Quick pop. Kenny Britt, their leading receiver in terms of yardage from a year ago, driven back shy of the first down.
A lot of new offensive coaches in place. Rob Boris, the offensive coordinator, former tight end coach for the Rams. You said it. Mike Groh here as the pass game coordinator. They've got one of the best offensive line coaches, Paul Boudreau, in the business. Been around a long time. It's a good drive by the Rams.
Malcolm Brown in at running back now. And he picks up the first down. He's a big back at 224. Cedric Thornton made the tackle, free agent from Philadelphia in his first year with the Cowboys.
And the Rams bringing in a lot of tight ends, big people. This is the place in the field. I saw the Rams working on a lot of play actions, bootlegs, early down passes in the red zone, an area that they have to improve dramatically.
Hey, 59.
Corey Harkey went in motion. Benny Cunningham breaking tackles. Wow. Terrible tackling by the Cowboys, and it's a Rams touchdown.
Benny Cunningham. Throw him a Gruden Grinder t-shirt. That's all Benny Cunningham. He does it in the hole, and he shows acceleration and burst to get it done. Going to run the ball right off the right side behind Harkey, number 46. Action in the hole. 27, Wilcox, who's in a battle for his position, beaten badly at pay dirt.
Impressive drive for the Rams. 75 yards in 8 plays and just over 4.5 minutes for Jeff Fisher. It's a 14-yard touchdown run by the veteran Cunningham out of Middle Tennessee. Greg Zuerlein for the extra point out of the hold of Johnny Hecker. Flag down. The kick was good. There's a flag down behind the defensive line.
Illegal formation defense. 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The try is good. Timeout.
And the Rams are on the board to the delight of the 90,000 plus. Most of them anyway. There are a lot of Cowboy fans here since they've trained for many years in Southern California. On September 12th, Monday Night Football kicks off the regular season with a great doubleheader. First the Steelers and the Redskins at 6:55 Eastern Time. Then these Rams in the Bay Area to take on the 49ers. Kick by Zuerlein results in a touchback, and we welcome in the press box our colleague from ESPN Deportes, John Sutcliffe. Hi, John.
Well, Sean, this is as good as it gets. I've been told by the Rams they had to credential 3 times more media than they usually would do in a regular game in St. Louis. Taking into account that the city of Los Angeles and Long Beach has the largest Hispanic community, I'm so happy. I've seen a lot of my Latino colleagues, print media, local TV, ESPN Deportes Radio is showing the Carneros, the radio broadcast of the Rams. I talked with Commissioner Roger Goodell before the game, and he said one of our commitments is to get that Hispanic market in the United States I'm from Mexico City. Today in the Coliseo, it feels like home. But one thing that's very important, muy importante, I saw a lot of Cowboy fans, Raider fans that used to be here. If you want the Rams to sell out, hay que ganar. You got to win games en la cancha, on the field.
All right, John, thank you. Darius Jackson got the call on first down. The commissioner is here, Roger Goodell. We'll be joined later by Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, who was a big part of the process that involved the Rams moving from St. Louis back to Los Angeles and to the Inglewood site. Jackson carries again, rookie out of Eastern Michigan, who should get ample opportunity to make an impression tonight. And he has a first down.
Darius Jackson didn't get invited to the combine. They go work him out. He runs under 4.4. He's got a 41-inch vertical. And he's a local kid. He's from nearby where the Cowboys train, and they like everything they've seen from him. He's a good receiver as well.
Grew up in Garland, Texas. Moved to Sparta, Illinois, his mother's hometown, when he was in junior high school. His dad, Tyrone, still lives in the Dallas area. Good throw. Dak Prescott has been magnificent. Been only one incomplete pass in this game by either quarterback, and that was a ball that was dropped by the Cowboys' Jeff Swain. Bryce Butler, the most recent catch for Dallas. End of the first quarter, 14-7 Cowboys. Tony Romo will not play tonight. He's looked good in training camp. He says he's completely healthy coming back from the broken clavicle, an injury he suffered twice last year, required surgery. They were 3-1 with him. They were 1-11 with three other quarterbacks at the helm. Prescott's been terrific. Toss to Darius Jackson to head for a yard on the first play of the second quarter.
Prescott has been good. How about a back shoulder throw to none other than Des Bryant? Bootleg. Rod Smith. Touchdown. Again, Des Bryant, an isolation one-on-one coverage, and this play-action pass with the Ram beating down on him, very impressive. Question, does Prescott throw the ball well enough? So far, the answer is yes. He's been very impressive. Let's see if he can punch another one in.
7 for 8 with the one drop. Case Keenum 5 for 5 for the Rams. Jackson. One of the great stories of training camp. Very few football fans around college football had heard of him out of Eastern Michigan, but he'll get a long look tonight.
That's the job I want. I want to be the running back coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Gary Brown, he's got Ezekiel Elliott, Darren McFadden waiting on ice. He's got Alfred Morris. Darius Jackson looks good. Cowboys going to be an outstanding running team, and it's going to set up some really great one-on-one situations for Witten and Des Bryant.
Prescott, little fake, surveyed the field, on target again for a touchdown. Terrence Williams in the end zone for Dallas.
Can't throw the ball any better. It's a double move. Williams has a step, and Dak Prescott drops it in there perfectly.
And John, when we talked to Sean Lee, the Cowboy linebacker at camp a couple of days ago, and you asked him about Dak Prescott, the thing he said that impressed him the most is he's like a veteran in terms of the use of his eyes and looking off coverage and surveying the field. And we've seen that in the first half. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and Michael Urban, the Joneses might not be on the phone looking for a veteran quarterback after what we're seeing from Prescott tonight.
And you haven't even seen the kind of plays that this kid can run, Sean. You know he can run the zone reads. He can run any kind of option you dream up. If you can throw the ball that well and bring the run element also, he'll be miserable to defend.
They already love his poise and presence. They're up 21-7. This ESPN NFL preseason special is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA, and by NFLshop.com. Find the largest selection of NFL products at the official store of the NFL. Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Gorgeous night here in Los Angeles. Temperature around 80 degrees. Clear skies. And the Cowboys leading the Rams 21-7 early in the second quarter. Dak Prescott, the story of the night. Right now listed as the number 2 quarterback behind Tony Romo. Cowboys believed to be in the market for a veteran backup to Romo, but that might not be necessary. Of course, it's very early. But Prescott has been outstanding. Matt Wild bounces one down the field. Michael Thomas, the Rams rookie, out of Southern Miss. Stuffed at the 25-yard line. Let's head down to the field now. Here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Sean, well, Dak Prescott has already been through a lot in his young life. His inspiration is his mother, Peggy, who died after a year-long battle with colon cancer in 2013 when Dak was a sophomore at Mississippi State. He says he thinks about her every day. She was everything to Dak and his 2 older brothers, a single mom who didn't have a whole lot but made sure that her kids wanted for nothing. Prescott says that every time he enters the stadium, comes out onto the field for pregame warm-ups, he says a little something to his mom as he gets ready for the game. He says, I know she has a great seat and she's happy to see me play football. Johnson.
He has to be delighted with what she has seen from above tonight. She raised a very nice young man. You spent a lot of time with him around the QB camp. We visited with him the other day for quite a while. He's the kind of guy you can picture leading your team.
Yeah, he's physically tough, but the mental toughness that kid has is, I think, what separates him. It's amazing what he went through with his mom and her battle, and to lose her and then play the next week in honor of her is special.
Did great things at Mississippi State with the coach Dan Mullen, turning that program around. They reached number 1 in the country for the first time in school history under the direction of Prescott. Tyler Higbee the catch for the Rams. Tight end, rookie out of Western Kentucky. And that's a position, tight end, wide open in Rams camp, and they love his size and ability. 6'6", about 250 pounds.
Yeah, he went to Western Kentucky as a wide receiver and was off to a great start, had some injuries last year, and they really like the presence of Higbee as a receiver in this Ram pass offense.
Keenum 6 for 6. And his first incompletion is a drop by Tavon Austin.
Tavon Austin, as fun as he is to watch, he's just, I think, got to take his game to another level, Sean. He's got 52 catches, but 32 of them are quick screens. He's got to improve as a route runner and do more for this Ram offense. Should have caught that ball and it should have been a first down.
Johnny Hecker on the punt. Led the league in gross average, net punting average, and punts down inside the 20 a year ago. There'll be another one inside the 20. Fair catch made by Lucky Whitehead. There is a flag
holding,
down.
Number 51 during the kick. 10-yard penalty. Timeout.
Kyle Wilbur called for the hold. 51-yard punt by Hecker.
Welcome back to the Coliseum in Los Angeles. I'm joined by Lynn Swan. Lynn, I know that you are a former USC Trojan. You're now the athletic director at USC, but you are also a Pro Football Hall of Famer. So for you, a former Pittsburgh Steeler, what's it like to have the NFL back in LA?
Well, I think it's great for Los Angeles. As you can tell in the preseason game, there are a lot of other NFL cities who are hard-pressed to get this kind of number out. And I think it's the LA fans saying thank you for coming back. We're certainly going to have full stadiums for USC as we go on and share this facility. So I think the fans are excited to have an NFL franchise.
And you mentioned sharing. Now, people don't always like to share. So what is it like, going to be like sharing this facility with a pro team?
Well, it goes back to the days when I played college football here at the Coliseum. It was USC, UCLA, and the Los Angeles Rams that all shared this facility. But I think we've come a long way in terms of the ground care, the groundskeepers. So I think this field will be in much better shape throughout the season.
Take me back, your fondest memory of playing here as a Pittsburgh Steeler.
I have some great memories playing here, but most of them are certainly as a USC Trojan. Coming down here, coming down that ramp, playing against Stanford, playing against Notre Dame, winning national championships. And now as the AD, I get to help Clay Helton, our coach, build the team at USC and compete for a national championship. So
it's coming home.
Well, you did score a touchdown against the Rams as a Pittsburgh Steeler in the Super Bowl. That had to count for something.
Well, that counted, but that was in that other place on the other side of town. But the Coliseum is something special. I have a lot of great memories, a lot of great games here, and we look forward to rebuilding the Coliseum and sharing it with the Rams for several years.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and good luck this upcoming college football season. Thank you, Lindsey. Sean, back to you.
All right, thank you, Lisa. After a couple of carries for Darius Jackson, he gets the call on 3rd and short, and he got blasted. Quentin Coples leading the way. Christian Bryant up from his safety spot. And you mentioned it, John, a year ago, the Cowboys really struggled in short yardage situations, and there's another.
Hard to believe. You got to convert those. Got to put your money where your mouth is. If the strength of your team is the offensive line, you got a lot of good backs. You got to get that done. Here's Pharoh Cooper, Sean. Dynamic player they drafted out of South Carolina. Good receiver, good returner.
Chris Jones, the punter. Short kick. Cooper on the run. Coming to the near side. And Pharoh Cooper. A nifty return to the 32-yard line of Dallas. Chanel Jenkins made the tackle. 40-yard punt and a 26-yard return by the rookie from South Carolina. While we were away, big roar here at the Coliseum as Jared Goff was introduced as the quarterback for the Rams for the first time on this field. The #1 overall pick in this year's draft after a prolific 3-year career at Cal, where he set 26 school records and set the Pac-12 record for touchdown passes in a season last season with 43. 21-year-old rookie from the Bay Area in Northern California. And his first play is a handoff to Malcolm Brown, who gets yanked down after a hard-earned yard. David Irving leading the defense.
Well, he got a lot done in 3 years at Cal. He turned a 1-11 team around, and he did it from the pocket. He's got outstanding accuracy and pocket toughness. Watch this Washington Husky beating down on him. He never flinches. Goff put the Golden Bears back on the map. He did it with his right arm. Let's see if he can come out of the huddle and play a different style of offense.
1-11 in his first year to 8-5 in a bowl win over Air Force last season. His pass incomplete, intended for Pharoh Cooper.
The thing I like about Goff is he's got one focus, one mission right now, and that's to get better. That's to learn his teammates, learn his opposition, learn this offense, how the formations work. What are my audibles? What are the splits of the wide receivers? His pre-snap recognition has to improve. He's got to learn a new communication, and they like what they see so far. Let's see what he can get done on 3rd and long.
They believe he has the arm to make all the throws. They love his poise, as you said. Now a blitz, and Goff hit as he throws, and it's an interception. And Zacha fumbles the football as he's hit at the end of the run, and the Cowboys retain possession. Derek Akune came on the blitz and hit Goff.
Oh,
that led to the interception.
Excuse me, Sean. They ran the same look earlier. This time they don't bluff it. They bring it. And it's Akune, who's been impressive in training camp, who punishes Jared Goff. That's what the Cowboys are going to do this year under Rod Marinelli. They're depleted up front. I expect to see a lot more kinds of blitzes. And they got after the rookie there.
A rough start for Jared Goff. Akune, first-year player out of North Texas, trying to make the team. He's been impressive in camp. He makes a big play. And Zacha with the return of 34 yards. Play fake by Prescott. It's a screen, and Swain drops it again. Well, he's known primarily as a blocking tight end, and you're seeing why. They think he's an improved receiver, but on game day today, he's dropped a couple.
Got to catch it before you run, and that's twice on bootleg. Swain, the former 7th rounder out of Texas, mishandles it. Get your eyes around, catch it first. Swain trying to become a runner before he secures the catch.
Deep hand up. Darius Jackson broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage and down to the 33-yard line.
It's a great job by Prescott. He uses a dummy snap count. He reads the rotation of the Rams, and he changes the play. Don't waste plays. That's the number one thing that coaches hate when you run the ball into an overload situation. See it, change it, and get it done. And so far, Prescott hasn't missed a beat.
3rd down and 5. Rams showing blitz. They rushed 5. Prescott on target. 1st down. And more. Good effort after the catch by Devin Street. 3rd-year man out of Pittsburgh, who's also in a battle to retain his spot on the roster. 9-yard gain. 1st down.
Just a slant route off the right side. Man-to-man coverage. And Marcus Roberson, who's in a battle for playing time, beaten for the 1st down. Dallas has gotten after the Ram corners in this 1st half. Janoris Jenkins, last year's starter, went to the Giants. They still have Trumaine Johnson, but they have not shied away from any of these Ram defenders.
Jackson again, flagged down behind the line of scrimmage. Jackson down at the 21-yard line.
Holding, number 60 offense, 10-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Jake Brendel. Brendel's a guy Jason Garrett went out of his way to praise when we were in Oxnard. Young center out of UCLA, has done some good things, and this is the time of the year that you have to find depth. Who's going to be the swing tackle, the guy that backs up Tyron Smith, backs up Doug Free? Who's going to be the swing guard and the backup center? And Brendel's in it.
He's in there now at left guard. Joe Looney is in at center. They're really all competing to be backups because their offensive line is set.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
First mistake by Dak Prescott. You got to come to these stadiums early. You got to find that 40-second clock. And you cannot take a delay game in a red zone fringe. Take a timeout.
There's Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, former head coach of the Rams while they were in St. Louis. 1st and 25. Prescott running out of time, and he is sacked by Ethan Westbrook.
See Brian Witzman on the right side with a speed rush. Westbrook has been around for a while. You're going to see on the right side of your screen Ethan Westbrook get the edge. And get Dak Prescott, be alert for a screen, something to get back in field goal range.
Loss of 4, 2nd and 29. Under 6 minutes to go in the 1st half. Dallas leading 21-7. Quick throw with the coverage way off. Devin Street. Defense reacted quickly. A team Ayers out there to make the play.
Well, the Rams weren't lined up and the Cowboys weren't set. I think this is going to go against Dallas. 2 men in motion.
Ayers from UCLA, a homecoming for Hakeem.
Illegal motion, offense, number 87, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
The Rams weren't lined up. Prescott saw it, asked for the ball quickly, and Dallas wasn't set. And Jason Garrett trying to calm down his young quarterback. He's been sacked, taking a delay of game, and try to bring him back to earth here in his first start in the National Football League.
One of the few negatives tonight for Dallas, the 6 penalties already. 2nd and 34. Street. 4 Ram defenders there to knock him down. Ayers at the bottom of the pile. LaMarcus Joyner also in there with Bryce Hager, second-year linebacker out of Baylor. You mentioned Akeem Ayers. John, we talk about the lack of success these teams have had in the playoffs in recent years. Akeem Ayers is the only player on either team who's played on a Super Bowl winning team.
Akeem Ayers.
Akeem Ayers played with the Patriots a couple of years ago and they beat Seattle.
That's impressive, Sean.
Goes to show you how little time these teams have spent in the playoffs in recent years. Prescott gets them back into field goal range with that run, chased down by Cody Sensabaugh, but he advanced it to the 26-yard line.
That's what he does, Sean. This is not a designed run, but he ran for 2,500 yards in the SEC, and he didn't get the first down, but he sets up Bailey, who you could easily say is the best kicker in the history of football. I've never seen Bailey miss. I'm 53 years old here in a few days. I've been hoping to see something crazy here over the years, but this kicker is amazing. He never misses.
Most accurate in NFL history. 90.6% for his career. This is from 44 yards, and it is good. And you have a birthday coming up, so you'll be a year older.
Just reminding you.
Back in Los Angeles on Wednesday, the Rams held a youth clinic at their practice facility at University of California, Irvine, part of the NFL's Play Football initiative. Youngsters had a great time.
I love that.
A lot of kids here seeing their first NFL game in person. Matt Weil will kick off for the Cowboys, leading 24-7 as we approach halftime. Michael Thomas, the rookie, going to run it out. Touchback going to come out to the 25. Instead, he's down at the 14-yard line. Keith Smith leading the tacklers. Well, under Jeff Fisher, now in his 5th year as head coach of the Rams, they keep looking for their starting quarterback. They've had 6. They traded 6 picks to the Titans, including 2 first-rounders to get the overall pick in the most recent draft, which they used for Jared Goff. And if you don't have a top quarterback, as you know, Coach, hard to be a playoff team in this league. They haven't been one. They gave up a lot to get him.
They certainly did.
And his pass through the hands of his intended receiver, Mike Thomas. He just brought the kickoff out of the end zone and then dropped the ball. When you're a young player, rookie trying to make the team.
You know, Sean, you talk about the Rams need a quarterback. They have to throw the ball better. Their receivers have to play better, too. They haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver that I can remember, let alone an 800-yard receiver. And I've seen Tavon Austin drop a pass on 3rd down. Mike Thomas is dropping passes. Who are they going to throw the ball to?
The leading receiver last year in terms of yardage was Kenny Britt. He had just 681 yards. That was the lowest total by any player to lead his team in the league. Goff on target to Tyler Higbee, the tight end out of Western Kentucky. Zacha right there to make the tackle at the 20-yard line. 3rd down and 3 for Los Angeles with 3:15 to go in the half.
And this is where Dallas plays a lot of press man-to-man coverage. These 3rd down and short situations. Pharaoh Cooper, number 10, in the slot. Mike Thomas, a rookie up top. Both rookies. Can they win?
Five-man rush, well blocked, and Goff's on target for 1st down. It's Higbee again. Driven back by J.J. Wilcox, but he's well past the marker. They'll give him forward progress to the 34-yard line.
Man-to-man coverage. Higbee on the right side of your screen. One-on-one against J.J. Wilcox. Good timing, good delivery, and Higbee proving tonight that he can detach and mismatch safeties and linebackers. Well done.
The Rams, after making the deal to get Goff, the deal with the Titans. The Titans got the Rams first and third picks 2016 and 17. They got 2 second rounders in this 2016 draft. Malcolm Brown close to another first down. After they selected Goff, they didn't have picks in the second or third round. 4 of their 5 choices after Goff were wide receivers and tight ends. They want to give him help. 2-minute warning in Los Angeles. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters, John Sutcliffe back inside the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. 2-minute warning. And the Rams return to Los Angeles. First professional football game in Southern California since 1994, when both the Rams and the Raiders left Southern California. Of course, for the last 15 years in Southern California, the Rams played in Anaheim. Goff over the middle to Malcolm Brown, and a good tackle. And Zacha's been impressive. Has the interception. Knee injury last year limited him to 2 games. Second-year player now out of Wyoming.
And I want to see this Cowboy 2-minute pass rush. Ryan Russell, second-year man out of Purdue. Somebody has to come screaming off the corner and end this drive.
Minute and a half to go in the half. All 3 timeouts remaining for both teams. Brown trying to drive the pile to midfield. Comes up about a yard short.
It's an interesting call. As we approach 1 minute, Rams still substituting. Great opportunity to see Jared Goff get a 2-minute drill in his first game. A lot of time being wasted here before the half. Wow.
And no urgency at all.
This is not good.
Plenty of time for Goff. And a broken tackle. Tyler Higbee got away. First down, finally knocked out of bounds by Kayvon Frazier, rookie safety, trying to make the team out of Central Michigan.
J.J. Wilcox really struggling in coverage. This time he misses another tackle. And that's what the Rams are looking for. A tight end that can detach, like Jimmy Graham, like Gronkowski, and take advantage of matchups against safeties that struggle in one-on-one coverage.
4th catch for Higbee. We were told training camp that he and Goff have formed a nice connection in the workout. And they've taken that onto the field tonight. Deep ball. Incomplete, intended for Brian Quick. 35 seconds to go in the half. All 3 timeouts left for the Rams. Stay tuned for the Toyota halftime report. First half analysis, highlights from around the NFL. Coming up in just a matter of moments. It was interesting talking to scouts about Higbee. A lot of scouts thought he might not be drafted at a knee injury and some off-the-field troubles in college. And some people thought he slipped to a great spot. Diving attempt made by Cooper. He couldn't hang on, and Frazier and Wilcox couldn't come up with the ball that was free for a moment.
J.J. Wilcox redeems himself. He had a couple struggles in the first half. This time it's cover 2, and right off the left side of your screen, watch him break on the ball and separate Pharoh Cooper from the rock. If you're going to play cover 2, you have to have safeties that will dislodge the ball from receivers down the middle. Great work by the veteran Wilcox.
4th-year player out of Georgia Southern, started 13 games last year. Goff is sacked, ripped down back at the 50-yard line.
Dallas, first team timeout. 30-second timeout.
Chanel Jenkins just joined the Cowboys about a week ago with the sack. Well, after the starter, Case Keenum went 6 for 7. Jared Goff into the game, Coach Gruden, and it's been a rough debut.
Well, the end goes first and the tackle goes second. It's an ET stunt on the left side of your screen, and You see 63 Williams, 67 Folkers. They don't switch the stunt, and down goes Goff. When you play Rod Marinelli, the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, you're going to see a lot of stunts. You're going to see a lot of stemming of the front. They line up one way and they move to another position. And you're going to see some blitzing this year because they're missing some personnel. Great work by the Cowboy defense.
Can they get more of a pass rush this year? Just 31 sacks last season, 25th in the NFL. Johnny Hecker with the punt. They'll mark it at the 15-yard line. Just 14 seconds to go.
Cowboys have to be thrilled with the first half performance of Prescott. And Scott Linehan, offensive coordinator, Wade Wilson, quarterback coach. A lot of work goes into the development of these young quarterbacks, and you got to be impressed with the poise of Prescott. No turnovers. He converted some third downs. He made some audibles, and he sure made some throws.
And he's going to take a knee to end the half, unless the Rams want to use timeouts. And they are heading toward their dressing room. Well, Goff, the #1 overall pick, but it was Prescott who shined brightest in Hollywood in the first half tonight. Halftime score, the Cowboys 24 and the Rams 7. The Rams get the ball to start the second half. We'll join Chris Mervin for the Toyota halftime after this break. Welcome back to Los Angeles. The Cowboys leading the Rams 24-7 as we get ready for the start of the second half. It was 70 years ago that the Rams first moved west from Cleveland for the bright lights of Los Angeles. One of the great offensive casts in the game helped deliver the big prize in 1951. And then the script was flipped in the 60s. It was the defense led by the fearsome foursome that terrorized league quarterbacks. A new director arrived in 1973, Chuck Knox, initiating a 17-year run with 14 playoff appearances, most in the league in that span, but just one trip to the Super Bowl. There was no Hollywood ending. The Rams' suddenly woeful return to the Midwest in 1995 to St. Louis. Now they're back in Los Angeles. Pro football back in LA for the first time since the end of the '94 season. I believe I said back in Southern California. Of course, San Diego's in Southern California, so all of Southern California did not lose the NFL. But a very impressive first half for the Dallas Cowboys' young rookie quarterback, Dak Prescott.
I don't know how impressive you expected him to be, but I didn't expect this. He was unbelievable, throwing the football, taking charge of the offense, and Jason Garrett did give him Des Bryant to help out in some of those bump and run situations. But what a job Prescott did.
And here in Los Angeles, the focus on Jared Goff, the #1 overall pick in the most recent NFL draft. He came off the bench for Case Keenum, had a rough go.
Well, he didn't get very good protection, and it started on the very first play. Here's a double A-gap blitz. You see the safety come with it, Barry Church, and Derek Akune punishes Goff. Ball's intercepted. Then it's a stunt. The end goes first on the left side, then the tackle loops around. They don't switch the stunt, and Goff hasn't had the support around him. He's had a couple passes dropped. Rookie Michael Thomas. I didn't like the way they got out of the huddle in the 2-minute drill before the half, Sean. Some opportunities, I think, to coach and teach, but I want to see more from Goff here in the third quarter.
And that's a part of the opening game. We talk about young players trying to make an impression, veterans who are on the bubble trying to hold on their spot. But for coaches, in the case of the Rams, some new members of the coaching staff, it's the first game, new system of getting the plays in, of organizing the personnel groups on the sideline. So this is the first run through with live bullets for them.
And who's going to talk to the quarterback on game day? This year they made a change. Now the offensive coordinator can go up in the press box and communicate to the quarterback. So Jeff Fisher is weighing a lot of different types of communication. He's got one of the biggest staffs in the league, and you got to have everybody orchestrated on game day. And I'm sure Coach Fisher made his presence felt in the Ram locker room at halftime. Not what he wanted, a 24-7 deficit in this debut. I know it's a preseason game, but you want to come out and give your fans something to get excited about.
So on the left of the screen, Mike Groh, one of the new coaches we mentioned. Rob Boris was the interim offensive coordinator. The end of last season, took over for the fired Frank Cignetti. Job one, getting Jared Goff ready to play. I mean, they didn't give up all those picks to have Goff come and sit on the bench for a long time. And even Case Keenum knows eventually Jared Goff is going to be the starter. But Jeff Fisher used the word patience. We're going to wait until he's ready to put him into that situation. We expect him to play at least another quarter here tonight. Then he'll have 3 more exhibition games after tonight. But they think Case Keenum can win. As a matter of fact, we talked to Les Snead, the general manager at practice the other day. He said if Case Keenum had played the last 4 years for us, we would have made the playoffs twice. Matt Wiles kickoff down by Paul McRoberts. And here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Sean, well, I asked Jeff Fisher what he thought of how Jared Goff played in that first half. And he said, you know what? How about the very first thing he said to me was, how about that throw that he made in the 2-minute drill that should have been caught? So he said, I'm pleased with what I've seen so far. I'm pleased with the decisions that he's made. He said, I was not pleased with the 17 points that the defense gave up, the 3 dropped balls from the receivers. The plan was to have Goff play through the third quarter. Jeff Fisher wasn't so committed on that. He said, we're going to see him, see how he's feeling, and just we'll see. So, again, the plan was to have him play through the third quarter, but we'll see. Sean?
Well, they're changing the plan, Lisa. A lot of times you have the rewrite of the script here in Los Angeles. Here's Sean Mannion, the former Oregon State standout. Second-year man. Third-round draft pick a year ago. And he's thrown for more yards in the history of the Pac-12 than any other quarterback. Threw just 7 passes last year. Completed 6 of them. Big guy, 6'6", 233. Malcolm Brown carry. So what would you read into this? We were told Jared Goff would play about half the game. He didn't play half the game.
Well, you can't hold these coaches accountable. When you see your quarterback getting smashed, perhaps you don't like the matchups up front. The Ram offensive line is playing their backup group, and maybe they want to save it for next week. Give Goff a different type of rotation, but wasn't that impressive. Something I'm sure that they need to get corrected quickly.
And now it's Mannion handing the ball off to Brown again.
Malcolm Brown.
Tough runner. They like his physical abilities and his patience and his vision. But he's a strong, powerful runner. Jeremiah McKinnon, the tackle.
Played out of Texas. Made the team last year. Carried it 4 times against the 49ers. He's just going to run right off the right side. Break tackles, move the pile when you're a big back. And boy, the Rams have had some big backs. Jerome Bettis, Steven Jackson, Eric Dickerson. How about Marshall Faulk? How about the number of backs? Now we're talking Todd Gurley. There goes Brown again.
Lots of running room. Lots of backups in on the defense. Isaiah Fry finally wrestles him down inside the 20-yard line.
Kayvon Frazier, the rookie safety out of Central Michigan, whips in the open field, and Malcolm Brown has Jeff Fisher's attention. Power play, you're going to see the left guard pull right off your right side. You'll see 35, Kayvon. Frazier, number 35, miss a tackle. That's good north-south running.
9.4 yards per rush for Malcolm Brown. Todd Gurley is going to be the featured back. Cunningham will certainly make the team, but the rest of it is wide open. Here's an opportunity for Chase Reynolds, 4th-year player out of Montana. There's Todd Gurley on the sideline, 3rd in the NFL in rushing. As a rookie last year, ran for 1,106 yards. And he missed 3 games. Didn't play in the first 2 games of the season, recovering from a serious knee injury while at the University of Georgia, and sat out their regular season finale with a toe injury.
We'll see if Mannion can make a tight window throw here in the red zone. Against man coverage.
3 receivers to the left. Chase Reynolds out of the backfield. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Like that. Reynolds is the best special teams player, arguably, on the Rams team. And every preseason, they put him in the game, and he does everything well. It's an option route out of the backfield. Watch Reynolds arc his release. His shoulders are square. Make the defender cover both sides of the break. And Dallas ran into each other, and Reynolds from Mannion. Nice way to start the second half. If you put the college stats of Case Keenum, Jared Goff, and Sean Mannion on a piece of paper,
unbelievable.
Those three guys shredded NCAA football. Can they do it in the NFL?
We're going to give the rookie kicker a shot here at the extra point. Taylor Bertolette out of Texas A&M. Greg Zuerlein is almost certainly going to be their place kicker when the year begins, but they'll take a look at Bertolette. Nice drive engineered by Mannion. 75 yards in 6 plays. This ESPN NFL preseason special is brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. By Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. And by ESPNshop.com, powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Look at where these folks are sitting. They're going to have 80,000 as the capacity for their regular season games, but so much interest in this game, so much demand, they sold an additional 10,000 plus tickets. More than 90,000 on hand. Taylor Bertolette. Everybody wants to make an impression. Jackson Darius ran it out from almost the end line of the end zone and did not reach the 20. So after a very impressive first half, quarterback for Dak Prescott, the Cowboys turn it over to Jamil Showers, second-year player. Spent most of last year on their practice squad as an undrafted free agent from UTEP. He started his career at Texas A&M, backed up Ryan Tannehill, and then lost the battle to be the starting quarterback to a guy named Johnny Manziel. So he said, I'm not going to play here. Went to UTEP, had 2 productive years. And has a tough act to follow. Stepping in for Prescott, who went 10 out of 12. Showers. Wow, how about that tight spiral, and then the ball dropped by Andy Jones. One of those in the battle to make the team is one of the last wide receivers who's been impressive in camp, but in his first live situation tonight couldn't hang on to a very tight throw by Showers.
Play action pass. They eliminate the underneath coverage, and Andy Jones out of Jacksonville. Been the talk at training camp. Got to make that catch. And Showers can throw the football. That's the one thing that jumps off the screen when you watch this young man. He does have arm talent.
Solidly built guy at 6'2", 230. He handed it off to Jackson, who got swarmed under behind the line of scrimmage. Dominic Easley, the former #1 pick of the New England Patriots, now a Ram. He's gotten a lot of time tonight. They have 5 players in their defensive line group who were #1 picks, including Easley.
Well, you lose Nick Fairley, you lose Chris Long. You have to bring in some reinforcements. And Easley, who's had nothing but bad luck with injuries, has had a good training camp. And they're looking for somebody that can spell Aaron Donald, their great defensive tackle. Nice work by Easley.
A drop in a negative yardage run, and 3rd and 13 for Showers under duress, and dumped it off incomplete at the feet of Jackson. Live ball for the moment. And a pile up at the 4-yard line. And now Pete Morelli signaling that it is Los Angeles ball.
That was a fumble. Darius Jackson, talented young back, trying to do a lot. You just saw him take the kickoff from 9 yards deep when his teammates were telling him to stay in the end zone, perhaps trying to do too much. It's a screen pass off the right side. You see Jackson. It's going to be incomplete.
And they are going to review the previous play. We'll head to a break as Pete Morelli heads to the hood. We're back in Los Angeles. Here's Pete Morelli.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback's arm was going forward as an incomplete pass. The ball will be placed on the 14.5 yard line. Please set the game clock to 10:33. 4th down.
And former NFL referee Jerry Austin with us in the booth all season long.
At first it appeared that the ball might not be in his hand, but his hand clearly is going forward, and number 34 was the intended receiver. So it's not intentional grounding, so it's an incomplete pass. The reason it was reviewed was because it was a change of possession.
The Rams recovered it. Replay turns it back for a Cowboy punt. Matt Wild out of bounds, far sideline. No chance for Nelson Spruce to return it. Well, it's a new era of football in Los Angeles. Stan Kroenke, the owner of the Rams, on the left, with Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner, on the right. In the end, the league liked his plan for a stadium in Inglewood near the Los Angeles airport, about 10 miles from here. It'll seat 70,000, have a transparent roof. It's expected to cost $2.6 billion. That would be the most expensive in NFL history. There'll be a 300-acre development around it, including retail and office space. Of course, there was talk about the Chargers and or the Raiders moving to a site in Carson, California. Apparently the debates were very contentious among the owners for a long time. In the end, Kroenke's plan won. It's still to be determined what will happen with the Chargers and the Raiders. And we're told that Kroenke's biggest booster in getting the green light in Inglewood was Jerry Jones, the Cowboy owner. And as you can see, work has begun on the site. The plan is for the Rams to play here in the Coliseum for 3 years before that project is ready to go. Well, while it's exciting for Los Angeles, John, I feel sorry for the good people of St. Louis. They had a stadium plan of more than $1 billion ready to go, apparently down on the river. But in the end, after 22 years, seems hard to believe there was not a team here for 22 years. But there's a team back, and it's the Rams back.
Well, we met with Jerry Jones in Oxnard a couple days ago, and he clearly was complimentary of Stan Kroenke and the job that he has done.
Said he's an angel for the NFL. That was the word he used, an angel.
I can't wait to see that stadium.
You're going to have to wait a few years. Sean Mannion still the quarterback. Third QB of the night for Los Angeles. He's on target to Chase Reynolds, but he got blasted way short of the first down. It's Martin Zacha again. If he's on the bubble of making the team, he's off to a good start in exhibition game number 1 of 4 with an eye toward making it.
Well, Nazacha out of Wyoming, hurt last year. Watch him key the quarterback in this zone coverage. As soon as the ball is thrown, break, drive, make the tackle. Well done. Rolando McClain doesn't show up. Somebody has to step up, and Nazacha has made some plays tonight. We've seen a couple of these young Cowboy linebackers, Derek Akune as well.
Johnny Hecker punts into the end zone. Aaron Green waving at somebody else as the ball goes into the end zone. You can prepare for the upcoming season with a 28-hour fantasy football marathon. It starts Monday at 7 Eastern Time on ESPN2. It'll feature fantasy-themed editions of First Take, His and Hers, Mike and Mike, Sports Nation, and NFL Live. And it'll also be streamed live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. First and 10, Dallas. Jamil Showers still at quarterback. Flag down as Darius Jackson ran ahead for a couple. Cowboys leading 24-14.
Clipping. Number 79 offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Chaz Green's second penalty and big one. He had one in the first half on 3rd and 1. Green filling in tonight for Tyron Smith at left tackle. Boy, I don't see anything there. That's a bad call. Let him play. Sorry, Sean.
No, it's quite all right. You will always be entitled to your opinion. It's America. Showers. Good catch by Lucky Whitehead on a ball thrown a little bit behind him. Jabril Washington, rookie out of...
Holding. Number 79. The penalty will be declined. second down.
Chaz Green.
Well, the officials have their eyes on Chaz Green. Let's take a look at the ISO. This is an important player for the Cowboys. You need a third tackle. I think that's a good call. That's Seau, 72, familiar last name, out of Nevada. The nephew of Junior Seau, a great Hall of Fame linebacker of the Chargers, and Seau's had a nice camp rushing the passer.
Chaz Green had hip surgery, missed last season. He said they're hoping he can be in the swing tackle behind Doug Free on the right and Tyron Smith on the left. There's one place where the Cowboys are set. It's certainly the offensive line. Tyron Smith and the center Travis Frederick, along with the starting right guard Zach Martin, all went to the Pro Bowl last year. They're all first-round picks. Lel Collins and Doug Free also set to be the starters, so really the competition in camp is for backup spots.
Keep an eye on Showers, young quarterback, on 3rd down and 10.
Met last year on the practice squad, played some wide receiver and safety, now exclusively a quarterback. Movement along the line, flags down, intended for Vince Mailey, and incomplete with 2 defenders there, led by Jordan Lomax.
Well, Cam Thomas of the Rams. Hard to miss Cam Thomas when he jumps into the neutral zone.
He's listed at 335, but Les Snead, the GM, told us at practice the other day that he's probably closer to 370 pounds.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. The illegal formation, number 76 lined up in the backfield. Offside, number 72 defense. Penalties will offset. Replay, 3rd down.
Let's get back to Showers here. 3rd down and 10. Let's see the young quarterback stand in the pocket and work against the Ram defense that has not blitzed much tonight. You're going to see a 2 deep zone coverage. Let's see if Showers can find a completion.
Running out of time and sacked. Or was he? No whistle. Apparently never went down completely, and now it's a completion. Vince Mailey all the way to the 32-yard line.
What a play by Showers. Chaz Green at left tackle, beaten off the snap. Left side of your screen. Seau. Can't bring Showers down. Cam Thomas, the 370-pound tackle, can't bring him down. And what a play by Jamel Showers.
47-yard game when it looked like he would be sacked, but he did not hit the ground. Darius Jackson around the right corner and out of bounds near the 25-yard line. They'll spot it at 24.
How about that pocket strength? Break 2 tackles, have the presence to keep your eyes downfield and throw an awkward delivery strike to Melee for a huge 1st down.
Good discipline by the officials as well not to blow it dead. Under 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Callis has led throughout. Lucky Whitehead returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, 101 yards to start the game. Took a lot of the air out of the crowd here. All the hype about the return to Los Angeles of the Rams. Chris Brown, his first catch of the night. Rookie out of Notre Dame, trying to make the team.
This kid can fly. Chris Brown, triple jump, track background. Some of these receivers in training camp, unknown, but when you watch them practice, you just feel the life in their legs. And Brown, productive receiver for the Fighting Irish, has some return ability, has put himself in the equation.
5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Darius Jackson to the 13-yard line.
These are the backup players, both teams. 3rd team players, a lot of them. If they play well and they prove they belong tonight, next week, you'll put them in the game earlier and see them against better competition. A lot of these players, they get signed in March, get signed in April. They've worked All these hours, all these days, lifting, running, learning the offense, learning the defense. This is showtime. This is their livelihood.
Jackson without Elliott and McFadden playing tonight. He's carried 12 times for 47 yards. Showers taken down back at the 18-yard line. It's Ian Seau again.
Wow.
In on the play.
He's done it with speed and power, and Seau did it at Nevada. But watch the left side of your screen. He's taking it to Green, the former third-round pick. Nice inside move and finish. That time he wrapped up Showers. How about that family football history? Junior, what a player he was, and this young Seau looks like he has a lot of similar traits.
An undrafted player out of Nevada, played for Brian Polian, at least in game one, taking advantage of the playing time to make a big impression. Showers, nice catch, very close to the first down. Jeff Swain, who had a couple of drops in the first half, trying to make it as a backup tight end behind Jason Witten, getting some playing time with James Hanna injured and Gavin Escobar coming back from an Achilles.
It's a nice job when you're a tight end, slot receiver, catch the ball away from your body, snatch it back to your body and protect the catch. 4th and 1. Can Dallas get it done in short yardage?
Play fake by Showers. Running out of time and throws incomplete. So the answer to your question is no. Josh Forrest, rookie out of Kentucky, number 59, the linebacker who was putting the pressure on Showers.
Some confusion on the down and distance on both sidelines, and
well, some of the officials are pointing that it's Rams ball. There's a yardage marker on the near side that says 4th down. It is Rams ball when we come back. Welcome back to Monday Night Football from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. 2:48 left, third quarter. Dallas leading Los Angeles 24-14. Rams take over on downs. 1st and 10 from their own 8 with Sean Mannion still at quarterback. And that pass incomplete, hit the ground. We're pleased to be joined by Cowboys owner, president, general manager Jerry Jones. Nice start to the season for your team, Jerry, returning the opening kickoff 101 yards for a touchdown.
I actually saw Stan Kroenke and I said, you won't believe me, but I'm going to say I'd rather the Rams have made that touchdown run the first play of being in Los Angeles, but we both know I'd be lying.
Yeah. Yes, you would be.
Sure, Stan would have much appreciated that with the big crowd and all the excitement coming into tonight's game. 2nd and 10. And on the delay, Chase Reynolds ahead for a yard. And you mentioned Stan Kroenke. We visited with you the other day up in Oxnard at your training camp, and you talked about how important this move to Los Angeles is for the league, and not just the Rams, but the fact that it was Stan Kroenke. He brings a lot to the table as well as they come back.
Well, I think so. Of course, we have really great owners in Mark Davis and certainly in Dean Spanos. But it was an opportunity to have Stan Kroenke, who's really accomplished not only in the world of sports, but also has made and will make huge investments, but is also, if you will, a dreamer, a developer. And to come into L.A., where really was such an opportunity for every team to do it right in L.A. because it's entertainment capital of the world. This gave us that opportunity. The crosshairs got there. And so I really felt, along with really about 26 other owners ultimately, that we really ought to have the Rams back home.
Long pass attempt there and pass interference call against the Cowboys will keep the ball moving and the drive alive for the Rams. It was 3rd down and 9 there. Why in the end, you mentioned Stan Kroenke, his background, but we've heard and read a lot that there was certainly plenty of support for the site in Carson and perhaps the Chargers or the Raiders and or those teams going there. So why in the end was Inglewood better, and did you push so hard for that?
Well, I think the size of the track at the Hollywood Park old location. But the size of the track, really the location, but it gave us an opportunity to really present our game, present the NFL in a way that a lesser size track wouldn't have. But more importantly, we had such a commitment from an owner. I've always thought that to come to LA, boy, what we really need to make sure is that we have that ownership right and as qualified and as passionate as we can. Stan Kroenke brings that to the table. The Rams are a natural. That's not Crazy Legs Hurst I see walking on that sideline. But when you look at the great legacy, the great tradition, to me, all of that fits together here, and I'm so rewarded. I don't know when I've seen a community, if you can call 20 million people a community, and you can. I don't know when I've seen a community as energized as I have felt out here in Southern California.
And as you said when we visited the other day, hard to believe there wasn't a team here for 22 years, but now there is. We're running out of time in the quarter. Dak Prescott, you had to love what you saw from him.
Well, I did. We had really had a letdown when our quarterback Moore got knocked out for at least half the season. And you say, well, everybody understands a rookie and counting on that rookie, especially in light of Romo's recent history of being knocked out last year. But again, these repetitions are precious in a game like this in front of 90,000 people. Now, Dak's been in front of 90,000 people. He knows how to operate. But to get to see him operating against really early against a Ram line, those are precious. I don't know how you value those reps. And for him to come out here and show his presence, make some plays, that, frankly, his skills allow him to do and allow our coordinators to do that we might not do with other quarterbacks. To see that, now let's don't put him in the Hall of Fame yet at all, but still, I like what I saw.
I got to ask you one question. I saw that number 88 get in the game. 2 great catches. You have to be thrilled to see Des Bryant running around like that again. He's magnificent.
Well, you're right, John, and of course it was really a setback not to have him last year. And again, we got to see almost the same catch and saw why the rule might not work as well when someone has that kind of athletic ability. But, boy, it's great to have him back. Of course, we are excited about Tony and Tony Romo's health and where he is right now. And hopefully we won't have to see that backup quarterback. But let me tell you one thing. That sideline over there, that Cowboy sideline, if you don't think those players didn't see that and see hope, see some future, see some possibility. And, but boy, that's so it's inspirational. I'm sitting with Michael Irvin, and he said that's as much as the throws he made or his presence is what it's doing to that team over there to see him operate. Thank you, John.
Thank you for being with us, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Good, Sean. Good to be on with you.
Keep it going.
Nice to have you with us. Don't put him in the Hall of Fame yet, but a nice start for Dak Prescott. End of the third quarter in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, not far from the Los Angeles Coliseum, Beverly Hills. This is where John spends a lot of time, in Hollywood as well.
I do. I shop down on Rodeo Drive. I was on TMZ, too.
I saw that.
I was checking out what I had in my bags. He was disappointed.
Really? I don't think Mrs. Gruden was disappointed. The lovely Cindy. Some nice merchandise. Good thing you make the big bucks. That pass by Sean Mannion is intercepted. Bobbled for a moment and then possessed. Deji Olatoye out of North Carolina A&T.
Right side of your screen. Watch Jeremiah McKinnon come blazing off the corner. He hits Mannion. Ball is not thrown accurately, and Okoye, or Deji, who had an interception last year, once again.
He was signed off the practice squad in the middle of last year. Saw some time with the Cowboys. Had an interception. Originally signed as an undrafted free agent 2014 by the Ravens.
Take a shot right now with this young quarterback.
Jamil Showers still the quarterback. Rod Smith Gain of about 3. Well, the Cowboys were horrendous, historically bad in turnover margin. They had just 11 takeaways, tied for the fewest in the history of the NFL. And they turned it over 33 times. That's not good either. Minus 22 the turnover margin. Third worst in team history, surpassed only by 1960, the first year of the franchise, and 89, which was the first year of the Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson collaboration. They're +2 tonight. They haven't turned it over. Showers hit in the legs and throws incomplete in the direction of Smith. And that was one of the big things Rod Marinelli talked about during our visit the other day, John. Yet more takeaways.
Well, I coached with Rod. He was our defensive line coach in Tampa. He went on to Chicago, did a great job generating turnovers there. 2 years ago, the Cowboys were great at taking the ball away, and that number 11 is very disgusting to Coach Marinelli, and they have practiced hard since the end of the season to take the ball away, and that's the difference in this game. They've collected 2 tonight.
3rd down and 7. Jamil Showers, again showing that strong arm. Chris Brown driven back. He did not make the yard to gain. Troy Hill, a solid tackle out of Oregon, trying to make it as a backup, waived by Cincinnati last year, and the Rams liked what they saw in the brief time he was with them at the end of the season.
A lot of young corners for the Rams vying for that 4th and 5th spot. E.J. Gaines, who's back this year from injury, not playing tonight, got a little tightness in his hamstring. LaMarcus Joyner, Cody Sensabaugh, man, they acquired in the offseason, and these young corners all fighting for a position.
Nelson Spruce back for the punt from Matt Wild. That'll be a touchback. .23 to go. Jason Garrett and the Cowboys up by 10. Back inside the LA Coliseum, Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters, John Sutcliffe. Our first Monday Night Football telecast of this season. Supposed to be last weekend in Canton, Ohio. Little issue with the logos on the field. Logos look great tonight.
Yeah, they sure do. I got here early and helped out.
Sean Mannion still at quarterback. Aaron Green at running back. Rookie out of TCU, who's in a battle to make the team. They like what they've seen in camp. Brings a little wiggle, according to Les Snead. Straight ahead this time for 4 yards. Here's Lisa Salters with Dak Prescott.
Thank you, Sean. Dak, I see a big, big smile on your face. How do you think you did?
I think I did pretty well. Just my game plan coming in this game was just to play clean as I can, do exactly what the coaches asked me, and I felt pretty satisfied with that.
Now, how did your NFL debut compare to how you kind of dreamt about it in your head?
I think it's up there. It's definitely up there how I dreamed about it, how I thought it would be, would hope it would be. But when you've got a great team like I've got, great offensive lines, you get to go out there and throw the dares and all the one reps, it's easier.
Now, what felt good to you out there? Like, where did you really kind of feel like this was going to be your night?
I mean, it just felt good to be back playing football again. I mean, when I first got into the offensive line, the ones told me, I mean, it's another practice. And I just thought about that, just treated every play individually with the coaches called and have fun.
Now, I know that your mom has been your inspiration, and you say you think about her all the time. You talk to her whenever you come out onto a field. What were you saying to her before you came out to the field tonight?
I know she was with me. I know she had the best seat in the house, and I know she was proud of me, and I just, every touchdown pointing to the sky to her.
Thank you very much. Congratulations on the effort tonight. Sean?
All right, Lisa, thank you. Diving attempt by Paul McRoberts on the sideline. Flag down on the play, as Lisa reported earlier. His mom passed away while Dak was in college for a battle with cancer. Back in 2013, Peggy, after a long battle with colon cancer. Dak's the youngest of 3 children. I remember watching your quarterback camp with him. He got emotional talking about it, and you did as well.
Yeah, it's amazing how this kid has fought through a lot of adversity to get to where he is. He's a hard man not to root for. Off to a great start.
Sean Mannion throws. Paul McRoberts the catch and a first down.
It's where the world of offensive football is going, Sean. You have a safety that walks down to become the 8th man in the front. The quarterback picks it up and throws an RPO. I call that a run-pass option. You have a running play called with a built-in pass if the box gets loaded, and Sean Mannion has done that extremely well as an Oregon State Beaver, and now he's doing it as an LA Ram. Here's another one.
Nick Roberts to the other side, hangs on to that one. Rookie out of Southeast Missouri State. Long shot to make the team. Jeremiah McKinnon made the tackle. They're trying to go a little up-tempo here. And I go back to what you talked about at the half. We were told Goff would play about half the game. He certainly came up well short of that. He struggled while he was in there. But you only have 4 preseason games. Catch made by Justice Cunningham near the first down marker. Why wouldn't you get him more reps? I mean, you want him to be the guy eventually. Why yank him with less playing time than you said you were going to?
I would for sure let him start the third quarter, get the feeling of making an adjustment at halftime, coming out playing. Jeff Fisher's done it a lot longer than I have. He has a plan for his young quarterback. He's been through it with Steve McNair. He's been through it with Vince Young. And now he's got a young man in Jared Goff, and maybe he's protecting him a little bit. We'll ask him after the game.
Yeah, Peps just didn't want him to lose confidence if he continued to struggle. There's Aaron Green. You mentioned trying to make it as a backup running back. They like his ability on special teams, which could help Aaron Green as a tiebreaker toward the end of camp.
A lot of times in the first preseason game, you don't put together a game plan. You run the plays you've been running against in training camp. And I think next week they'll have a plan. They'll sit down and install a legitimate game plan to some degree and give Goff more reps because clearly he needs them.
Mannion given time. Over the middle, Aaron Green again. There's that wiggle Les Snead was talking about. And it's a Rams first down as we approach 10 minutes remaining with the Cowboys leading by 10. Deion King, backup linebacker, made the tackle. Rookie out of Norfolk State.
Green can play. Green, 2,000 yards rushing the last 2 seasons at TCU. Former Nebraska Cornhusker. He transferred to TCU. I love his tape. This kid can detach. He can catch the ball, and he is elusive.
Mannion.
How about that?
Wow.
Zone read. Now, you can run a lot of plays with Sean Mannion, but I wouldn't run this one. You're not going to block the defensive end. You're going to read him. And if he takes number 36 Green, the quarterback keeps it, but how far do you really think Mannion's going to go? I don't know. Running a zone read with Mannion. That looked like one of the plays that they had in for Vince Young a few years ago.
Another short set by Mannion. And the completion to Duke Williams. Rookie undrafted out of Auburn. Another guy trying to win the battle to be perhaps the last wide receiver they break camp with.
86, Nelson Spruce, who just checked into the game. He's my sleeper on the Rams. If you're a Ram fan, keep an eye on 86 Spruce. He's the all-time leading receiver in Pac-12 history. Played at Colorado. He's had a nice training camp, and that's where he's most comfortable, in the slot up top.
294 catches at Colorado, the Pac-12 all-time record. Mannion throws in right on cue. Spruce.
Give me a sticker for my helmet. I mean, this kid's done it his whole career. Left side of your screen. It's a nice throw by Mannion in a tight window, but you got to have confidence in somebody in the middle of the field, and Spruce has done it as well as anybody in college football. Played hurt last year, still had almost 90 catches.
89.
I think he's going to be a Sunday player. Hopefully we get him on Monday night.
I asked Mike Groh, the receivers coach, about Spruce. He said he gets it. Don't have to tell him anything twice. Terrence McGee getting his first carry of the night out of LSU. Another undrafted player, originally signed with Baltimore. And now with the Rams.
This running scheme that they have, they do a great job of acting like they're blocking this defensive end. But Spruce doesn't block him, and the fullback 49 comes across and hits him as soon as the receiver releases. Paul Boudreau, the offensive line coach, does a great job with this Ram running game. Very creative backside blocking.
And touchdown, Nelson Spruce.
Reminds me of, I hate to compare players, but a young Ricky Prohl, who's now the receiver coach of the Carolina Panthers. He's an ex-Ram. A natural in the slot. He's going to run just a little option route. Mannion does a great job letting Spruce get his eyes around. He splits defenders after the catch. No wasted motion. That's a beautiful thing.
A happy homecoming for Spruce, native of the Los Angeles area, born in Venice Beach, went to Westlake High School not far from here. Now the Rams with a chance to win their return game to Los Angeles. Taylor Bertolet try another extra point. And it's good. 12 plays, 80 yards, 7 yards the pass. Sean Mannion to Nelson Spruce. A 3-point game with 7:07 to go. By Toyota, let's go places. And by playfootball.com. Go to playfootball.com to get in the game this season. Let's play football. That's what they're doing tonight here in the LA Coliseum, site of 2 Super Bowls. Super Bowl I, won by the Packers, and Super Bowl VII when Don Shula and the Dolphins capped their perfect 17-0 season with a 14-7 win over Washington. Officially 89,140 the attendance here tonight. They thought they'd be over 90,000. Didn't quite get there. Sean Mannion, 7 straight completions to finish the touchdown drive, and now problems on the kickoff. Rodney Smith, after Darius Jackson couldn't come up with it, taken down at the 6-yard line. 7:03 to go in Los Angeles. Sun setting on a gorgeous Saturday here in Southern California. Brian Randolph helped off the field. Apparently a leg injury for the Rams. Cowboys ball. They've led all night since returning the opening kickoff. 101 yards. Lucky Whitehead for a touchdown. Now they're up by 3. Rod Smith tried to give them some breathing room and carried out to the 9-yard line. Dallas led 24-7 at halftime.
Keep an eye on Ian Seau, number 72 of the Rams. He has done his best to ruin the second half for Showers and the Cowboys. He has really done a great job coming off the corner against Green, the left tackle of the Cowboys, and let's see if in a backed up situation he can get another rush.
Seau was a pass rusher for the Wolfpack of Nevada, 17.5 sacks while in college. Jamil Showers incomplete. And a big third down upcoming here. Rodney Smith, the intended receiver, third-year player out of Florida State.
Smith has been around, had a stint with the Vikings, 6'5" target on these inside breaking routes. I thought he could have caught that football. Third down and 7. Got to get help on the left side of your offensive line against Ian Seau. He has been a factor in the second half.
This big crowd wants a win for the Rams on opening night. Third down and 7. Rod Smith the back. Greg Williams brought pressure and the ball caught but short of the first down. Chris Brown tackled by Troy Hill.
Troy Hill, the one question Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, had was, will he tackle? And that time, right at the sticks, Troy Hill makes an excellent one-on-one tackle to force a punt. Little things go a long way with Greg Williams. And let's see if McRoberts can set up Mannion and the Rams.
Second straight 3 and out. Paul McRoberts back for the punt from Matt Weil. He's getting some exposure here tonight. He's going to be their punter. McRoberts signaled for a fair catch. The ball hit the ground, and then he tried to advance it.
Not a good decision by McRoberts, and that's going to cost the Rams 20 yards in field position.
Welcome back to the Coliseum in Los Angeles, where pro football is finally back. And for more perspective on that, joining me now is Sam Farmer, columnist for the LA Times. Sam, you were saying that it's important that it was not just a team that came back to LA, but the Rams. Why is that so important?
Well, this team has such a nostalgic relationship with this community, played here for so long. For these Rams fans, this is not a relocation, it's a restoration. It's like the world is tilted back on its axis.
I lived here for 12 years, and when I was here, I never really got the sense that LA missed pro football. Did you see it differently? You've been here for 16 years.
Well, you know, it's a little bit like Charlie Brown and Lucy pulling away the football. This city had been burned so many times, so many false starts on stadiums, that people got jaded about it. But once this plan came together, people got behind it, and it sort of galvanized the community.
Now, we don't know what's going to happen with the Chargers or the Raiders. Can this city support two NFL franchises? If you got one, why not two? Wouldn't that be better?
Certainly capable and big enough to support two franchises, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Raiders are going to give Las Vegas a good look, and I don't see the Chargers coming up here. The Rams have sort of taken the oxygen out of the room right now, and I think it's a one-team town.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Sean, back to you.
Thanks, Lisa. Sam does a terrific job. Now they'll have a team back in his city. Aaron Green emerging again during this drive as the Rams try to take the lead for the first time tonight. That most recent advancement, 17 yards, and Sean Mannion has them across midfield. He's 12 out of 17 passing for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nelson Spruce delivers a stiff arm and is near another first down. He gave Dax Swanson a handful.
And it's time for Dallas to dial up the blitz. They've created a couple turnovers tonight, and they've done it with blitzing. And with the game on the line late, don't be surprised if Rod Marinelli brings it.
2nd and 2. Mannion for Spruce. Did he gather it in time? No.
This Spruce is walking the chalk. Maybe we can bring Jerry Austin in and see what he thinks.
He never controlled the ball. He still didn't control it, and he one knee out of bounds.
Well, John wants to call because Spruce is his guy. I mean, as soon as he said, watch out for Spruce, Spruce makes all these catches.
3rd and 2. I know where I'm going. Nelson Spruce is in the slot at the top of the screen.
Already with 3 catches for 31 yards and a touchdown. Rod Marinelli did bring pressure, batted ball, and it's incomplete in the direction of Demarick Hemingway. One of 2 tight ends they drafted this year, 6th-round pick out of South Carolina State.
Bringing Jeremiah McKinnon off the corner frequently on 3rd down, and he's causing problems. You're going to see Hemingway 84 on the left side of your screen. Release on a shallow cross. Pressure coming from McKinnon, and this 4th down and 2. 3 receivers bunched at the top of the screen.
Tough to tell if Zach Wood got a hand on that pass. They're going for it on 4th down. Under 4 minutes to go. Trailing by 3 and out of field goal range. Mannion, Spruce, first down. Boy, he did a great job to catch it and then walk the tightrope to pick up the first down with about a yard to spare.
And Sean Mannion not backing down from Jared Goff either. Keenum looked good in the first quarter, and here's Mannion with a beautiful tight window throw, and Spruce knows exactly where the first down marker is. Beautiful throw. Excellent work on the sideline.
Mannion still figures to be their number 3 quarterback. McKinnon a blitz from the near side. Spruce in the flat. Spruce breaks a couple of tackles. We talk about the importance of the first game to make an impression, move your way up the depth chart. That's what Nelson Spruce is doing in this second half tonight.
Blitz coming off the right side, and Mannion sees it all the way. It's another one of those RPOs, a run-pass option. And Nelson Spruce has been the best Ram on the field, arguably, in the second half.
12-yard gain, his 5th catch of the night. 24-yard line, the line of scrimmage. They are in field goal range. They're either Greg Zuerlein or Taylor Bertolette. Again, pressure. Again, Spruce. And he did well to hang on to the football at the end of the play as Deion King tried to chop it out.
Well, you got to have people that block. You see Duke Williams, 81. Sustain that block. It gives Nelson Spruce a chance. And if you play off coverage, the Rams are going to throw the ball quickly to Nelson Spruce. He's earned the respect of his teammates tonight.
Yep, a little out of gas, so he goes to the sideline. Approaching 3 minutes to go. Aaron Green breaks tackles, lunges, and he's a yard short of the first down. Another stop for the rookie Deion King out of Norfolk State, undrafted and signed by the Cowboys as a free agent.
Look at the performance of Mannion. 16 for 23, 2 touchdowns, and Jared Goff struggled. Interception, sack. Didn't get a lot of help from his teammates. I'm surprised that we haven't seen Goff in the second half, but credit Sean Mannion. He's a much better quarterback in year 2.
Goff's performance looks worse because those before him and after him fared well. Paul McRoberts belted but got the first down. Case Keenum started for the Rams, went 6 for 7 for 58 yards, then Goff, and now Mannion.
How about this crowd? They're in the 4th quarter of the first preseason game, and I just feel the energy. The entertainment capital of the world. I love it.
2-minute warning on opening night in Los Angeles. Sean Mannion, 13 for his last 15 passing to bring the Rams back into position to now win the game at the 2-minute warning. They've trailed since the opening kickoff of this football game was returned by Lucky Whitehead of Dallas for a touchdown. What a start this would be for Jeff Fisher in the return to Los Angeles. They could rally for a rousing win. Mannion caught. Aaron Green, touchdown.
Same route they completed at the other side to Chase Reynolds. It's a halfback option route, and Aaron Green, another young Ram who's going to see a lot more playing time in the next 3 weeks. He comes out of the backfield with a free release, and he has a 2-way go against the linebacker, and it's no contest. Left side of your screen, number 36, Green. He beats Enoch Mwamba for 6.
Of course, all scoring plays, replay confirming the touchdown by Green. 11 plays to go, 74 yards. They went 80 yards on 12 plays in the previous drive. Taylor Bertolette with a big extra point to give them a 4-point lead. Sean Mannion took over to start the second half in a bit of a surprise, replacing Jared Goff. And he's gone 18 for 25 with 3 touchdowns here in the second half. The Oregon State Fever. Coach has talked about how he's improved in the last year or so, changed his body, worked on foot quickness and quick twitch stuff. Darius Jackson pinballed around at the 15-yard line. Fired up coverage unit. Troy Hill and Bradley Marquez.
Hey, Sean Mannion has made some impressive throws. Here's an option route to Chase Reynolds. He beats him to the inside. Beautiful throw. Under fire. He goes in. Nelson Spruce picks him up Then it's Spruce again on an option route for a touchdown. 4th down, beautiful tight window throw, and here's another option route. Aaron Green breaks it to the outside. Chris Winkie, quarterback coach, former Heisman Trophy winner of the Rams, deserves a lot of credit with the progress in Sean Mannion.
Jamil Showers, can he lead the Cowboys all the way down the field? On target with his first throw of this drive for about an 8-yard gain. Austin Traylor, rookie out of Wisconsin, made the catch. Long shot to make the team. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining as we tick under a minute and a half to go. 5-man rush. Showers takes off running. And it's a big run. Still on his feet across the 40, protects the ball and goes down at the 41.
What this kid can do, he can run. He did it in Texas El Paso. He's done it a couple times tonight. Nobody open downfield. He puts the ball away decisively, gets a Cowboy first down inside a minute. Got to hurry.
Cowboys elect not to use a timeout and a lot of time running off. On their own 41, they need a touchdown. The field goal does them no good. Swing pass intended for Rod Smith, incomplete, as Showers was knocked down on the throw.
And I think the Rams are lucky there. I thought Matt Longacre went low on the quarterback. Longacre. 43 seconds left. Number 81, Jones. He's had an excellent camp. They need to get after
his leaping ability too. If you're in a Hail Mary situation near the end of the game, that's one of his big strengths. Showers on the run, takes it down, and short of the first down, there is Andy Jones. All right, predict the next receiver. You got Spruce, you got Jones. Who's going to catch this one?
Well,
you're in midseason form already. You didn't need that game in Canton.
Some of these receivers, they just stand out to me. And I think this Jones kid, who is another young player that wasn't invited to the combine, his measurables are unbelievable. He caught 144 passes at Jacksonville.
Yeah,
he's had a heck of a camp. The Cowboys are known, Sean, for finding these diamonds in the rough. They did it with Miles Austin. They did it with Sam Hurd. There's something about this Jones kid that I like. Now, here we are in a short yardage situation. Don't be surprised if they don't run the football, clock it, and get a new set of downs. 3rd down and 1. Where is Ian Seau? 4th quarter pass rush. You can make the team with a delivery here.
Crowd roaring, 35 seconds to go. Seau drop ball. Seau was well blocked, and then Andy Jones, his second drop of the night. And they'll go for it, a 4th down and 1.
Got to get your head out of the break and see the ball leave the quarterback's hands. That ball got in on Jones. He mishandles it.
They like him. They gave him $15,000 to sign, the most of any of their 14 undrafted free agents. He came out of his college commencement to speak to Derek Dooley, the receivers coach, about coming to the Cowboys. They need to convert. Showers incomplete. And the Rams take over on downs, and they're going to win their homecoming to Los Angeles.
Looked like Michael Jordan, small college player, another Ram that Greg Williams says has had an excellent training camp. Top of the screen, Jordan wearing number 35 in tight coverage. There's just nowhere for Showers to go with the football.
Intended for Chris Brown. So Jeff Fisher, Southern California native.
You know what? There's nothing like winning. I know it's a preseason and your starters didn't play all that well, but there's nothing like going into that locker room and back to training camp with a win under your belt.
Well, they have a lot of momentum. The response, obviously, the fans has been great. And now they've given them a very exciting opening night. Didn't start very well. The Cowboys scored in the opening kickoff and led for most of the night, but the Rams outscore the Cowboys 21-0 in the second half and rally to win their first game in 22 years in the Los Angeles area. Final score is the Rams 28, the Cowboys 24. Regular season Monday Night Football starts September 12th with the Steelers and the Redskins, followed by the Rams and the 49ers. Sports Center is coming up next. Now for John Gruden, Lisa Salters, John Sutcliffe, and our great crew, Sean McDonough saying good night from Los Angeles.